Today's episode is brought to you by Benthall Brothers. More on them later. I'm Milton Ali.
And I'm Hampton Skirloff.
And we want to welcome you to the Investor Tribe podcast. And today we have my big homie, the brother with all the siding, all the windows, everything, like garage doors, everything. One of our favorite people, right? A friend of the tribe, right? And we're super excited, to have Hunter on with us to the Investor Tribe. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you. And so we're super excited. You know what, Hampton? We're so excited that you are repping.
I am. I've got my swag from Benthall Brothers. And I was telling Hunter, I said, I put in a bunch of windows at properties, and we did a commercial for them on the previous podcast. So I'm a very satisfied customer. Uh-huh. And I got on the website to see what else they had, available. And they do garage doors. I knew they do siding, knew they do windows, knew they do doors. Now there's garage doors. So I'm a happy customer. And I didn't know they'd been around since 1943 and had 5 locations. I knew of a couple locations.
That's right after you were born.
A little bit. It's been a little while. I think that was the dry erase board. But, or Chris Jakewith is out practice shooting in our lobby. So he'll be on the podcast later. He can tell me his story.
You are welcome to join us, bro. Like, oh my gosh, that is it. He's a friend of the tribe. So, all right. So been around since 1943. And so, why don't you give us a rundown? Because we're so excited. Slow us down. Help us out.
Yeah. Tell us what exactly you guys
do and sell.
Yeah. So we are exterior building material wholesalers. Windows, siding, soffit, columns, shutters, post wraps, gutters, fascia metal.
Okay, so fencing. Slow down. Help us out.
Yeah.
Post wrap for the kids in the back that don't know what a post wrap is.
So you got a front porch and you've got 3 support beams that are just wooden 4x4s, but you don't want to look at treated wood 4x4s. So you take vinyl sleeves that go around the outside of the 4x4 and wrap them, and they can be smooth, fluted, textured, non-textured, wood grain, etc. Just to add a little curb appeal.
That makes sense. And please continue. Yeah.
Yeah. Garage doors, etc. But I'd say about 90% of our revenue is the big 3: windows, siding, doors. And specifically packaging all of that together to where we can, by packaging a whole house package, if you need gutters, soffit, siding, doors, windows, etc., we can help save a lot of money by putting a package deal together versus coming to me for your windows, going to another provider for your siding, going to a box store for your doors, etc.
And there's a lot to be said for that convenience, because it's nice to be able to write one check or go one place and get a lot of that.
Absolutely.
A lot of those items, either go pick them up, or you guys do delivery as well for those big orders?
Absolutely. Anything over $1,000 is free delivery in Jefferson County. And then we go beyond that for free delivery for CREA members.
Okay.
See, that's awesome. And so you guys been around right after Hampton was born in 1943. And so I wanted to know, what's the key to staying in business so long?
It's all about relationships. Business at any level is about the relationships you form, nurture, and maintain. So the Benthall family started it in 43. But the second generation of Benthalls, they had a business partner. They had the Zirkle family. And then now the third generation of Benthalls, Eli Benthall, our current operating Benthall family member, has Sean Miller. So the Miller family. And then beyond at ownership level, we've got 5 different branches. You've got the relationship between the owners and each branch manager, the relationship between that branch manager and their team, the relationship between the branch manager, the team, and the customers that we want to build relationships with and service day in, day out, year over year. So It's all about relationships at the end of the day.
And that is extraordinary. I agree with you when it comes to relationships. I think one of the things when I first joined Korea, I was introduced. That was one of the first relationships that came across. That came across as far as what I needed. It was like, hey, you need to go to Benthall. It wasn't even a question. Like, you need to call Benthall Brothers for your needs in these areas.
Yeah.
And so that speaks volumes when that's the first thing that someone wants to have that conversation about. Like, they're anxious to tell you about, about the heritage and the service and offering the products in our market for so long. And so I think that is amazing, positive. And so, like, let's talk about some of the clients that you guys take on that you're usually working with. Is it mostly contractors, or do homeowners reach out too?
Oh, it spans the whole gamut. You've got what I call chuck in the truck, right? Your base level contractors where it's 1, 2, maybe 3 guys who are working out of the same vehicle, who are in a lot of cases working hand to fist. They're working for this job today to put food on the table today and tomorrow. You've got new construction companies, Tailor Homes, etc., whether they're building tract style, building 80 homes in one subdivision, or they're filled on your lots. We've got both of those. Restoration companies, Dalton Brown Restoration is one thing. And then you've got the property investors, such as the folks at Korea. And then you do have Bob and Betty, the homeowner, as well. So we diff in all of those buckets.
So Hampton, it looks like you work for Benthall Brothers. So
I'm not that knowledgeable or not that handy. I just go with what,
because you are representing whatever Hunter recommends. This is what we go with, right?
Sounds good. I'm not the expert. I leave it to the experts. So
yeah, of course.
It is amazing that you mentioned, the reputation that they have, and I've been part of Korea for a long time. And when I was first moved here, I moved back from Lexington.
Okay.
I remember the second you said doors, windows, siding.
Yeah.
Benthall Brothers. I just heard it time and time, again. And didn't hear anything bad. It was just people were like proud and happy. Oh, you need to call Benthall, but like they were glad to refer you guys.
I appreciate that.
And I for the first little bit of time, I didn't know you guys had so many locations. I thought, oh, if mom popped up, this service is great. Everybody's so happy. They're so knowledgeable that they probably not that big of an organization. And you go to an office, you'd order to get it delivered. It was quick and easy. And then you realize, oh gosh, this place is bigger than I thought. And then you got chains, multiple cities in Louisville or in Kentucky, and then across the river in Indiana.
Yeah.
And you're 5 locations. I guess.
Yeah. So our home office is in Evansville, Indiana, 15 Reed Street. Same spot since 1943. We just bought the adjacent property. There was a fire, and some of the Reed Street location did get damaged. But we are finally expanding there. They're doing a huge remodel to gain additional warehousing and inventory space, as well as building new office spaces, and kind of expanding the parking area, etc. And then we have our Paducah, Kentucky location, Owensboro, Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky, and then, of course, the office I'm responsible for, Louisville.
And so it is absolutely amazing that you guys have had such a far reach. So for our tribe members that are investing outside of the Louisville area and parts of Indiana, there's a lot of opportunity there.
I mean, I've taken material to West Lafayette, Indiana. I've taken material to Winchester, Kentucky. I've taken material up to Dayton, Ohio. I've taken stuff to Nashville, Tennessee. We are willing to go anywhere.
Buying a home? Got one less thing to worry about. Liberty Mutual offers customized coverage at great rates. Click the link below or call 1-800-266-0644 and mention Milton Ali, and I have a code that's KY-444689 for your free quote today.
And Hunter, are there any common misconceptions people have when buying building materials? You hear, is weight versus durability and price versus what is there what misconceptions out there are there?
There are two that absolutely stick out to me. The first one is that natural is always going to be better than synthetic. That's especially with Bob and Betty, the homeowner. I mean, whether you're looking siding is just an example. So you look at different siding products, wood or wood imitation. So think like LP Smart Side or like even Cedar Shape. If you were to go high end, they have just as many problems with those sidings as you do with entry level vinyl. It's just different problems. Okay, you have advantages and disadvantages to every single product I've seen in the building space. And just because you're spending more or buying a quote-unquote natural product does not mean that those limitations go away completely. And then the other kind of misnomer that I deal with a lot, and again, this is more for Bob and Betty, the homeowner, people who, for lack of a better term, are naive to what they're getting into, is it doesn't matter how much you spend on the product. If the person you have installing the product does not know how to install it, it's not going to look good. It's not going to function the way it's going to supposed to function, and you're not going to have a warranty that lasts. So those are kind of the two big ones that I deal with. And again, it's mostly with Bob and Betty, but even your contractors, they'll buy stuff that they don't know how to use, that they don't know how to install correctly. And then you've got an angry homeowner or property investor calling you 3 months down the road saying, hey, why is my garage door not working? Oh, well, Jimmy and Joe, the brothers that you had install your garage door, they didn't tension it tight enough, or they didn't install this right. There's all sorts of issues that can arise from naive installers or installers who are used to dealing with one product, but this other product that's similar is supposed to be installed slightly differently, and it can cause a major headache.
Oh, and physical damage or even death when you're dealing with garage doors and spring tensioners and the weight and all the energy stored in those springs.
Hire a professional. Always hire a professional when it comes to getting, especially a garage door. I mean, that's just nothing to play with. It is so. So. Are you familiar with all matters of materials when it comes to different siding? Do you guys play in all of those different materials?
So with siding, there's kind of a gamut. Your entry level, your most cost-effective solution is almost being a few word, always going to be vinyl. Whether that's just your
vinyl is final. That's what they can say.
Whether that's an entry-level 040 panel or something with an insulated back, and then of course on the higher end, your most permanent options for siding are going to be your stone veneer, or brick. Okay, and then in between there, you have so many different options. You have fiberglass options, PVC options like Select. You have LP Smart Side, which is a fiber wood board. You have fiber cement like Hardy board, aluminum siding. There's an endless number of options. I am more well versed in some than others. The ones that I don't deal with at all are true stone or brick.
And you talked about a lot of some of the popular, colors and features. That was the board and batten, siding. And you see black windows, a lot of natural wood look, accents.
That is really popular right now.
Yeah,
that is really popular. It's sort of like that Zoolander quote. Oh, it's so hot right now.
Right. Yeah. But you guys offer that type of the board and batten siding and all types of siding.
As far as board and batten goes, 99% of it seems to fall in white or black or near black for vinyl. I don't know of a vinyl manufacturer doing a true black siding. So we've got white and iron ore in stock 7 days a week. I know that last week we probably shipped out 9-10 houses worth of just iron ore and white board and batten, just in those two products alone. The barn dominium style look is very popular. where people want something that is more open floor plan, something that has height, something with plenty of windows, probably a garage door thrown in there somewhere. Kind of even if it's in the city, it doesn't look like it's in the city.
Right. And so, like, for instance, one of the things that, because my experience with you guys and Hamptons, it's more, hey, just provide us with some materials and then we'll have our guys go and do the install and we just keep it moving. Or we may have you guys do an install. And depending on timing and all that. What I wanted to know is that, do you get a chance to have design and really talk through design and trends with a lot of your clients? And how does that work? And what are you seeing currently?
Yes and no. Some of our clients, they call me, they tell me exactly what they want, how they want it, when they want it. I say, cool, and we move on.
Right.
Then I have other clients where it is, hey, this is kind of what's in my head. Let's make it happen in the real space, 3-dimensional. I've got one that is actually a barn dominium style. They've got, it's like 34 different all black windows. So these are fully extruded black windows. There's no paint. So if you scratch it a little bit, you're not going to see the white window underneath that you're coming back through with a nail polish trying to touch up. It is an actual fully extruded black in, black out window. And then you're looking at a 12-foot tall garage door on one side, French doors on the front side of the property. And on that job, I think we ended up sitting there for like 4 hours just going through all their different options for siding, doors, windows. So,
there's a lot of options.
There's a lot of, right. Pretty much.
Variety.
It's a phenomenal variety of options that you're kind of working with. And what's super cool is that you guys have the expertise and most product is on hand to be able to help out, clients and
samples, things like that.
And samples, to be able to have a very comprehensive look. You did a presentation for one of my courses. Yeah. And you brought, it was like show and tell. Like literally, you just brought everything in. And I'm like, dude, you need some help. So I think I was holding it. My sister did. We're always walking this stuff on in. And it was like, ooh. So that was pretty cool, So let's go ahead and do this real quick. When your project demands durability and design, trust the name builders have counted on since 1943. Benthall Brothers, from premium windows and doors to siding and shutters. We supply top brands with expert service and fast delivery. Whenever you're remodeling or building new, we help you get the job done right. Visit benthallbros.com and see why the pros choose Benthall Bros.
It's Benthall, BENTHALL Bros, BROS.com.
I know that we talk a lot about Benthall Brothers. We're big fans here at the pod. And what's going on when you're not selling siding, windows, garage doors? And so, like, what do you like to do outside of work?
I'll do anything, just about. I'll go shoot guns with you. I'll play Dungeons and Dragons. We can work on your truck. You
do D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons, yes, sir. I am a nerd through and through.
Oh my gosh! Now I haven't played in 30 years, but because it's just too much long of a game for us to be playing for that long. It'd be 3-4 hours just setting up the play. I'm sure it's probably different today, but. Goodness gracious, when I was in school, I'm a little old, but goodness, 30 years ago, we used to do that. And, blast, man. So I had no idea.
So see, that's super cool. And in 43, you're 42.
See, there you go. All right.
Just out in the depression.
So basically, this is I gotta bring this out here. This is, some of that.
The red flag.
Here's the red flag. This is a foul. and this is a penalty flag right here. So
your youngest is a girl, right?
Yeah. How many's on in the first grade?
Yeah, first grade.
And then the older two are boys.
Okay. See, we are girl dad. So girl dad gang in the house. Yeah. Girl dad gang in the house. And so, but that is super cool. So, it's really cool because it just shows that, that you're motivated to really help clients out in, in our journeys of whether it's renovating our homes, whether it's flipping a home that we're trying to buy, whether it's providing value to the broader community. We really want to thank you guys for your long service to the CREA community, for your long service to the investor tribe. We are just, we can't be big enough fans.
And I wanted to bring up something. We get into it. I know we may have to make a disclaimer. We're not tax accountants, and tax codes can change. but there was some incentives going on for energy efficient siding, cladding, insulation, windows. Have those gone away, or is it vary by? Is there some state incentives now?
So all of the energy efficiency tax write-offs that I've seen have not gone away. For the most part, they're just much harder to get reimbursed on than they were 5 years ago. Even companies on the manufacturing side don't want to go through all the hoops to give you the proper paperwork you need to get the write-off. And then even whenever you get the proper paperwork from the manufacturer, if you don't file it correctly, it's a lot. It's a headache for most people. I think I only have like one contractor who's consistently getting all of the proper Energy Star ratings on his windows, on his doors, and everything like that every time he orders to make sure that his stuff is a write-off. So it's not something that we do every day. I don't know if that's just a Louisville market thing where people are quite as like hyper focused on getting the top of the line, newest green tech or whatever you want to call it, but it's not something that we deal with every day at Benthall.
Feels worth looking into. Yeah, has to be some state and federal, tax credits. Oh, it's great. It saves you a bit here, saves you some there, but I know they've done away with some and phased other things out, but just something to look at or consider because that can be a good size, purchase, and you want to have energy efficient building materials, things that are durable and last. And I guess you can go over the pros and cons and the energy efficiency of all the different.
I mean, on windows, just to pick an easy example, you've got low E film, which is a type of reflective film that keeps the UV rays from going from outside to inside your home. Some windows have dual UV, where you've got the dual low E on both the outside window pane and inside window pane of a glass pack. You've got low E 366, low E 270, low E 180, I-89. You've got the list of options and different upgrades or downgrades that you can do on just a basic window can be a little overwhelming.
Well, what I wanted to know, and I'm sure that some of our investors, we buy homes near railroad tracks.
Yeah.
And one thing that I find that is very interesting is if you don't purchase the right set of windows, it is not going to be a peaceful environment for the property near there. What type of window should the investor buy?
Okay, so
right next to the tracks.
If you're looking beyond energy efficiency to something that is going to absorb sound a little bit better, as far as the lines that I deal with on a day-to-day basis, I'm going to point you towards Hartby every time. They're made out of New Hampshire. Energy efficiency ratings are almost exclusively done based on the glass packs that are fit into windows. And so little is talked about with air penetration ratings. You are legally required to have a 0.03 or lower on air penetration. So most companies' windows come in at a 0.029, 0.028.
Bare minimum. Yeah.
Yes. The Harvey window, originally being based out of New Hampshire, they were made for those cold northeastern winters. And even on their entry-level window, the slim line, their air penetration rating is 0.01. So getting a window with a quality air penetration rating, and then on top of that, making sure that you get the argon gas in there. Argon gas is far less conductive. I don't remember the exact numbers, so don't ask, right? Please. But it's far less conductive than oxygen. Okay, the molecules move slower from like a chemical point of view. And so they convey heat and cold is what most of the time we think of, but also sound is going to move from one pane of glass to the other pane of glass and into your home less efficiently through that than it would through a normal oxygen sealed glass.
Wouldn't have thought about that. So
Yeah, I mean, that's that's definitely interesting and helpful because we have conversations about this all the time. We're thinking, okay, how do we buy the right windows? It's not just, hey, let me get the cheapest windows. I need to buy the right.
Well, and with the
windows.
Harvey, if you want to talk about cost effective, we don't say cheap, we say cost effective. Anyways,
of course.
but if you want to talk about just a cost effective solution for, it's nothing fancy. It's a double on window, low ER good air penetration rating. Anything under 101 United inches on a 4-week lead time is $198 and some change.
And you said 101 or 111 inches?
101 United inches or lower. So
That's two sides of the window, right?
Yep. And
Right.
whenever you're talking about United inches for a window, that is your width and your height, add them together. So like an egress window for a Harvey is a 3250. So it's a 3.2. These are call sizes for new construction. So you're looking at a 3 foot and 2 inch wide window, 38 inches by 60 inches, 5 foot tall. All right. That's going to run you 198 some change.
I love it.
Hello, Hunter Hartman, branch manager with Benthall Brothers. When your project demands durability and premium products, we have the windows, siding, doors, and more that you need, whether it's a remodel or new construction. We have excellent service, fast delivery. We've been serving the Kentuckiana area since 1943. Our office number is 502-361-4600, or visit us at benthallbros.com today. We look forward to taking care of you and your family, and have a wonderful day.
We've learned quite a bit today. We're very fortunate to have Hunter that's been with us. We learned a lot about, siding and trends and energy efficiency and argon, gas and noise and air penetration. And so with that, we'd like to wrap up for the day. So thanks for listening to us here at the Investor Tribe Podcast. I'm Hampton Scurlock.
I'm Milton Ali, and we'll catch you on the flip side of the Investor Tribe.
The Investor Tribe podcast is brought to you by the Investor Tribe, all rights reserved, featuring Hampton Scurlock and Milton Ali, executive producer Drew Cookenmaster, produced and distributed by Bespoke Marketing.